Hello, 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 everyone. I am your host, Ethan Salas, here to present you with a brand spanking new topic. Tad bit controversial, but hey, that's what we'd like to see. Now, before we get to the meat of the subject for today, I'd like to take this time to recognize all those who have passed away due to the coronavirus, as well as those who have lost ones because of it. Stay strong, it's almost over. Good times are ahead of us. And without further ado, time to get them brain cows milked. Now, the typical format for my video is typically that of a talk show. However, today, without any audience or guest speaker, I will be mostly informing. So think of this as more of a PSA. The main thing I'm going to be using today is ethos and logos. The point is to appeal to vaccine naysayers in a logical, reasonable sense. Often, emotional appeal doesn't work because it makes them angrier. You don't know their situation. You just can't. You can possibly understand them and their families. I will take data from certain websites to show how the vaccine is beneficial and safe for everyone. Now that we are aware of today's topic, it's time to dive right in. Now, it's easy to look on social media and or at your friends/colleagues deciding that they will be receiving the vaccine and to think perhaps it would be a no-brainer to get the vaccine. However, this is not the case. Many polls have been conducted in the past and find that a sizable portion of the public have rejected the idea of getting the vaccine. This is especially prominent in Latino/Black communities. Now, as Latino myself, I can see where this is coming from. My parents in particular find the vaccine to have too many unknowns in terms of side effects. Now, for all my fellow Latinos out there, we know of this thing called Hispanic panic. Everyone in my family does it. My dad, my grandma, my grandpa, my uncle, my aunts, cousins, it does not matter. However, this justified mistrust stems from a long history of mistreatment of colored communities in both medicine and clinical research. Also, due to the CDC's early pandemic testing, they have eroded any trust that people might have concerning the accuracy of their information, which creates a question: who can we trust to successfully guide us out of the pandemic? Should we leave it in the hands of the government or attempt it ourselves? That being said, the CDC provides us with current relevant information concerning cases, vaccination opportunities, and other safety guidelines, which, in my opinion, makes them the most credible source during this time of turmoil and strife. Furthermore, the COVID vaccine presents an opportunity at even a glimpse of normalcy. You might be asking yourself, what is the vaccine? How does it work? How will it affect my body? According to the CDC, different types of vaccines work in different ways to offer protection, but with all types of vaccines, the body is left with a supply of memory T lymphocytes as well as B lymphocytes that will remember how to fight that virus in the future. It typically takes a few weeks after vaccination for the body to produce T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes. However, therefore it is possible that a person could be infected with the virus that causes COVID-19 just before or just after vaccination and then get sick because the vaccine did not have time to provide protection. It is very important to mention that sometimes after vaccination, the process of building immunity can cause symptoms such as fever or feeling weak. Please be aware that these symptoms are completely normal and are signs that the body is building immunity and should wear off within a few days. The information concerning the types of vaccines comes straight from the CDC themselves. mRNA vaccines contain material from the virus that causes COVID-19 that gives our cells instructions for how to make a harmless protein that is unique to the virus. After our cells make copies of the protein, they destroy the genetic material from the vaccine. Our bodies recognize that the protein should not be there and build T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes that will remember how to fight the virus that causes COVID-19 if we are infected in the future. Protein subunit vaccines include harmless pieces of proteins of the virus that causes COVID-19 instead of the entire germ. Once vaccinated, our bodies recognize that the protein should not be there and build T lymphocytes and antibodies that will remember how to fight the virus and that causes COVID-19 if we are infected in the future. Vector vaccines contain a modified version of a different virus than the one that causes COVID-19. Inside the shell of the modified virus, there is a material from the virus that causes COVID-19. This is called viral vector. Once the viral vector is inside our cells, the genetic material gives cell instructions to make a protein that is unique to the virus that causes COVID-19. Using these instructions, our cells make copies of the protein. This prompts our bodies to build T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes that will remember how to fight that virus if we are infected in the future. Now, after hearing this, I hope you have a better understanding of what the COVID vaccine really is. So let's go back to my previous statement, normalcy, a concept that seems pretty foreign in this day and age. Like when I hear that, I think, what does it even mean? Uh, Life before the pandemic is a blur. It's almost like the pandemic has become sort of the new normal. But for now, just try to think back to life before the pandemic. No mask, no social distancing, going to work, going to school, playing sports, having fun with your friends without a care in the world. Truly a peaceful time, but those times pretty much are not back completely yet. Now, you might be thinking, normalcy can happen here and now. The pandemic has been on for 2 years. Cases are decreasing. What is the harm? Now, the harm can be seen in long-term effects such such as an explosion of cases seen in the beginning of the pandemic, similar, and we could see a new relapse of the virus despite the historic progress we've made in about 2 years. Now, many will say that our body will develop immunity naturally should we continue on normally, and to that, I half agree. Yes, our bodies will develop immunity, but fast enough to return to normal naturally? No. The vaccine will help strengthen your immune system should you be exposed, so your body is ready to fight it should reaction be life-threatening. It will help stop the spread of the virus and will allow you to participate in indoor activities with other people who are also fully vaccinated. The vaccine is intended to strengthen your immune system to specifically fight the virus and nothing more. Now, whether or not side effects occur is something I encourage to look into yourselves. Obviously, there's still so many uncertainties concerning the vaccine, which means that as individuals we should display patience and compassion for those who may or may not be up for receiving it. You'd think it would be obvious that we cannot socially denounce any vaccine naysayers. In fact, we should be doing just the opposite. We should be listening and keeping an open mind. Now, which with cancel culture, intolerance up on the rise with like social media around the world, it's easy to get caught up in the flow of denouncing those who don't support your political views, that don't support your life choices. It's easy to get caught up in that, and it's easy to point and blame those who would disagree with you. But but um but providing current, honest, and trustworthy information will encourage anyone on the fence to educate themselves. In a time of turmoil, berating and forcing your own ideals on others is wrong and is the absolute worst way to convince others to take the vaccine. We as U.S. citizens should take the step by step, little by little. As a last note, I would like to encourage you to do your own research regardless of how you feel after this. Please research and discover for yourself. I hope that rather than taking everything that I say at face value, you are inclined to think for yourself and better yourself by becoming more informed.